Okay guys, let's go over the TWAB for the week. First off, the 30th anniversary is going to be coming out December 7th, which is only 19 days away. In game, they'll be still playing as seasonal challenges, trials of stars, and occasional banner, vendor, reputation, god roll hunting, and many more. Now for some more 30th anniversary sandbox changes. This is focusing primarily on the ability side of the Guardians. For Flux Nades, the base cooldown goes from 82 seconds to 182 seconds. Increase attached detonation damage from 150 to 250. One shot kill in PvP. Increase damage versus PvE commands by 15%. Removed projectile tracking. Adds a small amount of aim assist. Increase throw speed by 117%. Now sticks to all surfaces. This is literally becoming the plasma nade from Halo. For the Firebolt nade, reduce base cooldown from 82 seconds to 64. Reduce damage per bolt from 90 to 65. Increase damages versus PvE combatants by 15%. For the super recharge, they're going into tiers for how fast they are going to be able to recharge. For tier 5, which is the faster generation, is going to be Well of Radiant. Tier 4 is Blade Barrage and Silence and Squall. Tier 3 is Shadow Shot, Burning Maul, Arc Staff, Nova Bomb, and Thunder Crash. Tier 2 is Golden Gun, Chaos Reach, Nova Warp, Storm Trance, Daybreak, Sentinel Shield. And tier 1, the slowest, is going to be Spectral Blades, Fist of Havoc, Hammer of Soul, Glacial Quake, and Winter's Wrath. These perks have their ability regeneration reduced by roughly 50% in PvE. We are targeted perks that have either activate out of combat with a single button press, or those that are running amounts of energy that are simply out of band. These include the Whisper of Shards, Stasis Fragment, Arc Web, Stormcaller, Rising Storm, Stormcaller, Ionic Traces, Stormcaller, Electronic Static Surge, Stormcaller, Aftershock, Striker Titan, Inertia Overdrive, Striker Titan, Benevolent Dawn, Dawn Blade, Practice Makes Perfect, Gunslinger, Dark Matter, Void Walker. These perks gain toned down by the amount of energy you get per kills. These include Everlasting Fire from Dawn Blade and Trample by Striker. For exotic armor, Frosties no longer stack multiplicative in PvP with other regeneration buffs, is now an additive scalar. There is no change for PvE though. Part of most light ability energy regeneration scalars reduced by 50% in PvP. Controversial hold. Duration of the green regeneration buff is no longer random between 1 and 4 seconds. It is now fixed at 1.75 seconds. Reduce grenade energy regeneration scalar by 50% in PvP. Doomfang. Reduce the super energy gain on activation when the opposing player is killed by a void melee by 50%. No change in PvE. Noah's Vow. Reduce grenade energy gain by hits versus players by 66%. Brown Tempest. Grenade melee and super regeneration scalars buff duration reduced from 7 seconds to 4 seconds in PvP. The Stag. Reduced fast ability energy refund on shield break by 50% in PvP. For armor mods in general, we reduced the energy returns from these mods by roughly 50% in PvP. These mods are Melee Kickstart, Grenade Kickstart, Utility Kickstart, Preparation, Bolstering Detonation, Focusing Strike, Bombardier, Outreach, Domino, Disruption, Momentum Transfer, and Impact Introduction. For Stasis Crystals, while forming stasis crystals now slow nearby players instead of freezing them, they still freeze PvE combatants while forming. Increase slow freezing radius when forming from 1.5 meter to 2.6 meters. Reduce crystal detonation damage versus players by 55%. Increase crystal detonation damage versus PvE combatants by 60%. Increase crystal detonation radius from 6 meters to 8 meters. For Hunter Dodge, no longer breaks projectile tracking. Marksman Dodge tier 10 mobility cooldown increased from 11 seconds to 14 seconds. Base cooldown and changed at 29 seconds. Gambler Dodge tier 10 mobility cooldown increased from 11 seconds to 18 seconds. Base cooldown duration from 29 seconds to 38 seconds. For the Revenant itself, Shatter Dive much less lethal versus players due to stasis crystal changes, much more lethal versus combatants due to stasis crystal changes. Increased shatter damage versus PvE combatants by 100%. Grim Harvest Aspect increased fragment slots from 2 to 3, which is amazing. For top tree arc strider combatant blow, reduced base cooldown duration from 90 seconds to 15 seconds. Bottom tree night stalker vanished in smoke melee, reduced base cooldown from 96 seconds to 75 seconds. For the titans, all shoulder charges no longer one-shot players. Bring activation reduced from 1.5 seconds to 1.25 seconds. Increase range from 5.5 meters to 6.8 meters. Targeting cone widen increased by 10%. Damage versus PvE combatants increased by 25%. Seismic strike reduced AoE damage from 90 to 40. Now blinds enemies in the area on hit. Increase cooldown from 82 seconds to 90 seconds. For shield blast, reduce AoE damage from 90 to 40. Increase the base cooldown from 82 to 90 seconds. For hammer strike, reduce direct impact damage from 170 to 120. Increase base cooldown from 82 to 90 seconds. For the barricading, for tower barricade, increase the base cooldown from 37 seconds to 40 seconds. For rally barricade, reduce the cooldown from 37 seconds to 32 seconds. For the behemoth subclass, Diamond Lance increased fragment slot from 1 to 3. Now spawns a Diamond Lance upon killing a PvE combatant with a stasis weapon, killing 3 players with stasis weapons in a single life, killing an enemy with a stasis ability, or shattering an enemy. Shiver Strike increased Shiver Strike damage while in Glacial Quake by 50%. Increased damage resistance from Whisper of Chains versus PvE combatants from 25 to 40%. For Bottom Tree Striker, the melee lunge range and melee damage bonus now deactivate after a melee kill. Super energy gain from Fist of Havoc, light attacks now decays to minimum amount over 3 PvE kills, down from 7. Increased base cooldown from frontal assault melee from 82 seconds to 106 seconds. Heavy slam reduced range from 8 meters to 6 meters, bottom tree only. For warlocks, uncharged melee reduced melee range from 5.5 meters to 4.5 meters. This now matches hunter and titan melee ranges. Reduced suppression time after melee, now can melee back to back at the same speed as hunters and titans. For middle tree voidwalker, handheld supernovas reduced damage versus players, now deals 150 damage max. Increased damage versus champions and bosses by 30%. Now increased projectile range from 12 meters to 14 meters. Now pushes targets away from the melee on detonation. For Nova Warp, increased damage versus champions and bosses by 30%. Or Shade Binder, Winter's Wrath reduced shattered pulse damage versus enemy supers. Must now generally freeze and shatter all supers twice to eliminate. Phenomenal Blast, increased proximity, detonation, radius versus PvE combatants by 100%. Bleak Watcher is equipped. All stasis grenades now charge the glacial grenade rate. For all the Xbox and PC Xbox players, make sure that you check, because Destiny is leaving the Xbox Game Pass once the game leaves the Game Pass. For players who don't own any expansions on the platform, you will lose access to campaign missions, expansion specific activities like raids, dungeon hunts, exo challenges, nightfall strikes, and access to Trials of Osiris, the stasis subclass, which be online specific, the middle tree supers for each subclass, the 10% off perk or silver purchases, and other in-game add-ons. As a reminder, Witch Queen will not be available on console or PC Game Pass when it launches on February 22nd in 2022. Okay guys, that is the TWAB for the week. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss a video I give out. I stream on Twitch every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Link for that be down below. Be sure to hit that follow button. We vibe and chill and Destiny other games. Hope you have a fantastic day. I'll see you next next video. Bye guys.
The queen in me always kept Aldrin at arm's length, even if the sister in me yearned to be closer, seeing him replaced by that guileless fool. If I may speak frankly, my queen, Aldrin was always a fool. He was too prideful to earn your acceptance. Instead, he tried to goad your affection through insubordination. And now, on the other side of death, he returns as an obedient servant to another ruler. The traveler has a sense of irony, it would seem.